My name is Stacy Maynard, and I am a digital media specialist. So I do all of the social media, online stuff, all those online tools. I'm a little bit of a tech geek, and I just love helping people understand how all that works, because it's fun. Before I started looking for training and before the Mastermind, I pretty much was in the same spot I was in for literally 5 years. I'm 6 years in, and for 5 years, I didn't move. So I did the same thing. What's that definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result. I did the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result. So I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't moving in any sort of good direction. I was literally spinning my wheels trying to figure out what to do, but trying to find someone who could actually help me. I have, in regards to the past, I wouldn't call it training. I've been in many masterminds, and I put that in quotations simply because they were accountability groups. So what are you going to do? And now come back next month and tell us, did you do it? Okay, that doesn't help if I don't know what I'm doing. It's my business. So no, I would say no to the answer of have I done any training? No. Have I been in masterminds before? Yes. When I started looking around and realized that it had come to the point where literally it was either move forward and get what I needed to do to move my business forward or stop being an entrepreneur. I was literally at that crossroad. So I needed to understand what I needed. So when I started looking for training, I knew what I wanted, and I just needed to know where to find it. It was a little bit of, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear kind of concept. I think the fact that I kept doing the same thing. So I think what I kept doing was joining different groups, again, like I said, hoping for a different result. So different masterminds, and I really thought that when I heard about this one, that it would be the same old thing, and that it was another mastermind and another thing that I would invest in, and the money was a huge barrier for me because, again, like I said, for 5 years, I was spinning my wheels. I didn't know, I wasn't making a lot of money, so how was I going to get money to invest in something to make money? I wasn't sure where that money was going to come from, but I also had the idea that, okay, seriously, like, I don't need another mastermind. I've been through them all, and none of them worked. So what makes this one different? That was my big barrier. I met Faye at multiple networking events, heard about her. I admit that I didn't really understand what Faye did for a very long time. No, seriously, didn't understand what she did, but I knew that she helped businesses, and it was a little bit of a stalking, just to kind of, follow her here, follow her there, saw her stuff on social media. Other people started talking about her, and I went, oh, wait a minute, that's that Faye person again. That's that Faye person again. Okay, wait a minute. Of course, the hockey rink didn't help. I'd see her at the hockey rink because, welcome to building relationships outside of work. So, had conversations with her and stuff and really understood that she knew stuff about business that I needed to know. That's a great question. That defining moment, I think, I would have to say it was fear. And I didn't realize that until later when I'm like, literally, I love being an entrepreneur. I love it. I love owning a business. And the fear of if I don't take a big step and if I don't follow in somebody's mentorship, that knows what they're doing, I am no longer going to be an entrepreneur. And that fear was like, you know what? No, I am not going to let somebody tell me not to do something. I'm not going to let that fear stop me, because I am going to be fantastic, and I knew she would be the one to get me there. Well, when I started, I will be completely honest and say that it was a lot more work than I expected, because it was work that I'd never done before. So the one thing with me is that I'm very technically savvy. I know all the systems. I know how they all work together. I know how that I can teach you all how to do that. But you know what? They knew more than me. They knew how they all worked together. And I think that was the big piece that I didn't know. So for me, it was a lot of work in the beginning, because I got to admit, I kind of went in with a little bit of I kind of already know this stuff. I didn't. So it was a lot of work on my own business, and I hadn't really put effort into growing my business. I put effort in my business, servicing my clients, helping them out, but had never taken the time to stop and go, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go, and actually look at building that? If I hadn't taken the training, I know 100% that I would be working a 9 to 5 job. I know it, guaranteed. I had already, before I started the mastermind, I was already in a conversation with somebody about getting a job. And I don't want a job. I wanted to own a business, and I wanted to grow a business. And I know for a fact that I'd be working somebody else's business, somebody else's hours, and somebody else's guidelines. And I didn't want that. So I know that's what I would have done. Yes, it was a lot of work, and it still is a lot of work. And to me, that's what it takes. Being an entrepreneur is, working a million hours for yourself so that you don't have to work 40. And that's exactly what would have happened, is I would have been working 40 hours, definitely for somebody else. Wow. What's my business like today? I think it's not at all what I expected it to be. And I think that's the really fun part, is that I looked for years on how to do what I'm doing. I wanted to sell my expertise online. I know a lot of stuff. And literally, I'm doing that now. I literally looked for all the different programs and how they all work together and how can I make that happen. Now I'm doing it. And it was all because of the mastermind. And I never would have gotten there without it. You know what? It's a decision. And my decision was based on a lot of things. My decision was based on I was willing to invest the time, I was willing to invest the money, and I was willing to get over my fear. So what I would say to somebody if they were considering the mastermind and had all of those roadblocks in there is it's worth it. It was worth the time, and it was time, absolutely. It was a time investment on me and my business. I learned a lot about myself in the process. It was a money investment. Well, the return after. You can't even put a dollar figure on the return on investment of your money. And fear, just do it anyway. Just get over it. And you know what? Today, well after the mastermind, who would have known? I have my online courses. I have my Digital Advantage Business Academy up and running. I have a book on Amazon. And wow, can't imagine doing anything better.